Imagine a hero so cracked that he's not only the first hero in human history, but also a literal demigod. That's the one and only. Well, technically not the one and only, since there are multiple versions of this motherfucker running around. But in any case, that's Gilgamesh. Okay, before the canon police shows up in the comments, let's get one thing straight. Even if the story is a spin-off that isn't in the main timeline, the abilities Gilgamesh shows in them are canon, even if the story itself isn't canon. The Type Moon Wiki and Fate Grand Order materials confirm that different summonings just highlight different facets of his true power. So for this analysis, I am using a full power Gilgamesh. Section 1: The Legend and the Ego. Now, to understand why Gilgamesh is such a menace, we have to go way back to the beginning. He wasn't just a king, he was two-thirds god and one-third human. In the early days, he was a straight up tyrant because honestly, who was going to stop him? Well, definitely not me. To humble him, the gods created Enkidu, a beast made of clay, after a legendary slugfest that lasted for days. They didn't kill each other, they actually became best friends. Yeah, best friends. They went on wild adventures, clapped the guardian of the cedar forest, I hope I said it correct, and even put down the bull of heaven together after Gilgamesh rejected goddess Ishtar's love proposal. Yeah. After Enkidu's death, Gilgamesh went on a quest for immortality, eventually realizing his true legacy wasn't living forever. It was the fact that he owned everything humanity would ever create. He is the collector. When you fight him, you aren't just fighting a guy with swords, you are fighting the man who owns the original version of every human made noble phantasm in history. Section 2: The Standard Kit. In his most basic form, Gilgamesh is a long-range powerhouse. Here's a few abilities he possesses. Gate of Babylon. This is his infinite treasury. He uses it as a space-time tool to rain concept nukes as projectiles, firing original versions of legendary weapons that are often more powerful than the myths that followed. Now, of course, for those who don't know, in this vault of the Gates of Babylon, he possesses quite literally almost everything human made. Not only weapons, he possesses cars, energy drinks, heck, even gym equipment in there. Literally everything made by a human he originally has in the vault, and he can use it. The Chains of Heaven, aka the Chains of Enkidu. This is a tool he uses to counter against divine beings. Basically, the more God you have in your DNA, the more impossible they are to break, and the more they nerf you. Then there's Aya, aka Enuma Elish. This is his most trusted tool. His unlimited trump card. It's a conceptual tool that separates reality and creation, grinding the laws of space back into a state of void. Yeah, this thing is quite literally more powerful than a nuke. Section 3: The King Unbound. In this section, I will just be covering up the highlight feat he has in Fate Strange Fake novels. The first feat or ability he has in Strange Fake, which I think is mentionable, is Active Clairvoyance. He uses Shah Negba Imuru, I really hope I said that name correctly, which is actively to instantly discern the nature of threats without facing them first. AKA, if there's like manipulation magic or something that messes with his five senses, or if there's danger, it's kind of like a spider sense, you know? He knows when there's trouble, when trouble comes. Even before the trouble comes, that's basically what it is. Then there's the Potion of Youth. Now, of course, in his backstory, which I didn't mention, after Enkidu died, he did look for ways to find immortality. Like the first method failed miserably for him. Then his second method was the potion of youth, which came from a herb or something. I'm not gonna go too deep in his backstory. Basically, he obtained it, and it's being used in Strange Fake. And basically, it makes him a lot younger and a lot more energetic. And then the war basically continues after he died. Yeah. Section 4: The Wise Strategist. Now, this section is gonna focus more on the Fate Grand Order feats he does have. Note, unlike the other versions of Gilgamesh, he is a caster and not an archer in the Grand Order timeline. And the one thing which I must mention, which he uses in Grand Order, is his anti-regen gear. He wields the weapon Harpy, or Harpe, I really hope I said it right. It's basically the immortal slaying scythe. It literally negates immortality. Yeah. Section 5, the Skill Master. Now this section is gonna be more about the other games except Grand Order, like Extella and way more other games. First up is his auto defenses. Now, of course, this was showcased in Strange Fake, but I'm putting this in this section since it was first revealed in the games. So yeah, it's basically floating golden discs that act as an automatic system, meaning it activates not even by will. It's like it activates on its own, shooting lightning at incoming projectiles. Then there's the 5D invincibility. He has a cloak in his vault that makes him invisible on a 5-dimensional scale. Yeah, pretty crazy. This makes him invisible and undetectable by advanced magic. Section 6, the Warrior King. Okay, so the feats from this section is from Fate Prototype. Now, for those who don't know what Fate Prototype is, it is basically the original Fate story. But of course, this one is basically it's think of Fate Stay Night, but the original idea, which didn't came out as the canon result. Like in that story, Saber, like in Offer, is a man, like it was supposed to be, and then of course in Stay Night, which is now the canon timeline, she is a she. Yeah, pretty crazy. Anyways, this version of Gilgamesh is known as a proto-Gil, but some call him the true hero Gilgamesh. Anyways, let's go to the feats. Now, we've all heard the common L people give Gilgamesh. They say he just spams the gates of Babylon. He doesn't really know how to use his weapons. Well, this version of Gilgamesh in the feats he shows here is gonna prove them wrong. Unlike the Stay Night version of Gilgamesh, who sits on his throne and just spams the gates of Babylon, this version of Gilgamesh is a close to mid-range fighter. Basically, he went up against Keen Offer in the prototype verse, and he literally used high-level sword skills while using the gates of Babylon, which I'm mentioning this because this is going to be like a huge advantage if Gilgamesh can do this. I mean, fighting close range while using the gates of Babylon. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna fuck with the enemy's senses. Like, is he supposed to dodge? Who is he supposed to put his attention on? And I'm just mentioning this. And his weapons he uses in prototype is called Inky. It's basically like two golden blades. That's basically what it is. And then this is the one feat which I actually want to go to when it comes to the Fate prototype version of Gilgamesh. It's the search of Utanpizimtum. I am pretty sure I did not spell that correctly, but of course I will put the subtitles on for you guys to read. It is a move that calls down a world-washing flood that requires a top-tier noble phantasm just to hold back the tide. Yeah, and those who don't know, this noble phantasm quite literally almost flooded the entire world. Yeah, pretty crazy. Section 7, the Walking Disaster. Now the feats from this section is gonna be from Fate Extra and Fate Extra Triple C. And of course, this version of Gilgamesh is the most busted one, so don't be surprised what you're about to hear. The first skill he has in this version of him is the 10 crowns. This is a literal game changer of an ability. It quite literally negates reality warping, casual manipulation, and cheat codes, aka cheat abilities. You cannot hacker delete this man, like seriously. You cannot use cheat stuff, you cannot reality warp, you cannot use manipulation. He quite literally negates it all. Then there is his infinite speed. In the moon cell he moves and reacts at speeds that ignore the concepts of time and space. Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to be faster than Gilgamesh at this point. Then finally, there is his mythological mystic code. It's basically like a special that buffs him and allows him to function at 100% capacity and breaking all standard class system limitations. So basically, if there's something nerfing him, then he can just use his full power from the start. Like that's basically what it is. Now, those are all his main and highlighted feats, abilities, and skills he has throughout all the versions. But there's one skill I did mention, but I didn't really say its full ability because I don't know how accurate that ability is. It's a constantly active clairvoyance that lets him see all possible futures and hidden truths. He literally knows your weakness before you even think of it. Now, as broken as that sounds, I don't really think it is as it's stated because we have seen Gilgamesh taking so many L's, and I don't know if he just held back because of his ego, since his ego has been his downfall multiple times, and he wouldn't go full power unless he sees people worthy. But you guys can debate how accurate this ability of him will be. Then there's a few passive perks I also did not mention. It's his independent action plus A, which allows him to exist without a master. Then there's the golden rule skill he has. Basically, this skill means he'll never go broke, meaning you will never see him on the street begging for money because this skill, that basically what this skill means in a way is money finds him. He doesn't find money. He doesn't have to work to get rich. Rich just comes to him. Basically, that's basically what the golden rule is of him. Not really good when it comes to a fight, but when you think of it, when he fights someone and let's say on somehow he used all his treasures in his vault, which is basically impossible. But if he did, he's automatically broke if you think about it. And then golden rule will make him rich again. Like I don't know how that will work in a battle scenario since I mean it's kind of hard to imagine the golden rule work on a battle scenario, but you can add that in some way in a debate, but don't put your heart on it. And yeah, that's basically everything I have for Gilgamesh on this video. So yeah, basically the backstory is the only thing I think I've literally rushed over. So if you want a better backstory of Gilgamesh, then I recommend watching a video I've put in the description. It's from another YouTuber, and he did a really good job doing the backstory of Gilgamesh. So I really recommend you guys watching it, and I will see you guys at the next one. See ya, peace, goodbye, and thanks for watching.